Assalamu alaikum class 7 students. Today, as you know, we have started chapter number 3, and today we will do the page number 34 of your chapter number 3, the periodic table. Okay. As you know, we are studying the periodic table. I have told you this is very important. Before this topic, we have discussed the evolution of atomic theory, that which scientists take part to make the structure of an atom, and their names, which we have discussed in this chapter. They were, the first one was John Dalton, second was Joseph Thomson, third was Ernst Rutherford, and the fourth one was Niels Bohr. Okay, now today we will I have told you this is very important chapter for you according to your chemistry, which you will start in class 9. So now we will discuss the chemical symbols. First of all, question is that okay, what is the meaning of chemical symbol? Okay, because we are discussing about the structure of an atom, and we all of know that every element consists of atoms. So every element is shown by some symbols. For example, when you do mathematics, so where if you want to do addition, then you show a symbol plus sign. When you want to do subtraction, you show the sign of subtraction. When you want to do division, then you show the sign of division. Okay, so like that, these chemical symbols, each element has its own unique symbol, a sort of chemical shorthand recognized all over the world. Okay, so every element which is shown, in the figure, okay, every element, it has a symbol, because when we are doing work, we never show the full name of any element, we show them in a short word. Okay, so every element has its own unique symbol, a sort of chemical shorthand recognized all over the world. A chemical symbol can be a capital letter, okay, a symbol which we write. It should be always in a capital letter. For example, C. C is a symbol of carbon. Okay, so C, which we can see, C, which is the symbol C, which is the symbol for the element carbon. Okay, so you can see C, which is a symbol for the element carbon, or a capital letter followed by a lowercase letter. Okay, so if we want to show the element carbon, you all of know carbon is an element, so we will not write the full form of carbon. Actually, we will write its symbol, and we will show by capital letter, and we will show by a capital letter, which is C. Okay, after that, if we want to show the calcium, okay, so what we will do, okay, now we will say case C, which is the symbol for the carbon. Okay, now there is another example of calcium. Okay, calcium, for example, has the symbol Ca. Okay, so when we want to show the calcium, we will show with two letters. First letter always should be capital, and the second letter should be written in a small alphabetical form. Okay, so you can see its symbol is Ca, which comes from the first two letters of its English name. Iron, on the other hand, there is another example of iron. If you want to show the iron, on the other hand, has the symbol Fe. Okay, so this is different. The first thing which comes into your mind, okay, why we don't show iron with I and R. I have told you what is the reason. So when you want to show the iron, okay, its symbol is Fe, which comes from its Latin name. Okay, so iron is written, this symbol is taken from the Latin name of iron. So in Latin language, the name of iron is called ferrum. It is called ferrum. So Fe is taken for iron. Okay, its Latin name. Okay, so when there is a iron is written, you always write the symbol Fe, and this Fe comes from a Latin name ferrum. Other elements have symbols made up from their first letter and one other letter in its name. Okay, mostly elements have the symbols from the first letter of name, some are written by two letters. For example, we have discussed the example of calcium. You can see these are spellings of calcium, and the symbol of calcium is C and A. The first letter should be a capital and the second letter should be in a small alphabetic form. You can see this is a symbol for calcium. Okay, so other elements has symbol made up from their first letter and one other letter in its way. So magnesium can be written M and G. You can see this is magnesium M and G. Two letters are taken. First is capital and the second is in a small alphabetic form. And zinc. So zinc is taken from Z and N. The first letter should be capital and the second letter should be small alphabet. It includes the self. Don't disturb the class are examples of these. Okay, so I hope you understand it. Every element has its own unique symbol. Okay, when we want to write the name of an animal, we do not use its complete form. Actually, we write in a short form. So the right form of that chemical is called a chemical symbol. Okay, so we have discussed 3 and 4 examples here. For example, first example is carbon. This is showing by C, capital C. So C is the short form of chemical symbol of carbon. Next one is given calcium. Okay, so okay, it's the full name of element is calcium and it is shown by capital C and small a. So it is written here. This is the chemical symbol of calcium. And the other example is given of iron. Okay, so for its symbol, they have taken the symbol from its letter name. So iron in a Latin language called ferrum. So its symbol will be Fe. And there are other examples which we have seen in the book. They are magnesium. Okay, its symbol is M and G. And zinc, its symbols are Z and N. I hope you understand that when we want to show the element, okay, so we do not write its full form. Actually, we use symbols for these elements to show their reactions. Is that clear? Okay, come to a next number, that is atomic number. That is atomic number. The number of protons in an atom is called its atomic number. uh, I have told you that in the center of the nucleus, if you keep in your mind the center of an atom, I have told you in the center of an atom there is a nucleus. And in the center of nucleus, two types of particles are present. One which has positive particles and other which have no charge on them. Okay, they are called neutrons. So structure of an atom is made by three fundamental particles: protons, electrons, and neutrons. Protons and neutrons are present in the center of the nucleus. So the number of protons which are present in the center of the nucleus, they are called its atomic number. What is an atomic number? The number of protons in an atom. In an atom means which are present in the center of the nucleus. The number of protons in an atom is called its atomic number. The number of protons which are present in the center of the nucleus, okay, they are called its atomic number. So each element has a different atomic number. Yes, this is true that all elements have different atomic numbers. Definitely different atoms have different structures, so they have different protons in their centers. So elements contain neutral atoms. Since protons are positively charged particles, so elements contains, so every element in the I want to explain this line कि every element has a nucleus and in the center of the nucleus it has some positive electron and some neutral atoms. I have told you neutral atoms are called neutrons and they have no charge on them. And protons are also present in the center of the nucleus and they have positive charge on them. So protons are positively charged particles. There must be an equal number of negatively charged electrons. Okay, so there are also electrons are present, but they are not present in the center of the nucleus. Actually, they move around the nucleus. I have told you in the structure of an atom that every nucleus surrounded by a circular path, they are called orbit. So some particles move around these circular paths. So the particles which move on those circles, they are called electrons and they have negative charge. So first of all, you have to keep in your mind the structure of an atom. In the every atom, in the center of every atom is a nucleus, and there are two types of particles. First are positively charged particles, which are called protons, and the atomic number of that element is equal to number of protons. And there are other one particles present in the center of nucleus, they are called neutrons, and they have no charge. And around the circular path, around the nucleus, there are some particles which have negative charge. Okay, they move around the nucleus, so they have negative charge. So the atomic number also tells us how many electrons the atom has. Actually, what is the purpose of atomic number? Atomic number tells us how many electrons the atom has, that how many electrons are present in an atom. So number of protons in the center of nucleus and the number of electrons which moves around the nucleus, they both are always equal. Okay, so if you see the structure of carbon which is given in your book, okay, here it is written atomic number and mass number. Okay, so the carbon's atomic number is 6. It means it has 6 uh, protons, positively charged protons in the center of the nucleus. And it also has 6 particles which are called neutrons in the center of the nucleus. So atomic number always equal to proton number. So its atomic number would be 6. And mass number, there is another number. Mass number is made by 6 protons plus 6 neutrons. So it should be equal to 12 mass number. Okay. Now you see the mass number. Protons and neutrons have approximately the same mass. Okay, because we are talking about the structure of an atom and we are talking about the nucleus in the center of a nucleus in the center of an atom. I have told you in the center of a nucleus there are two particles are present. One have positively charged and the other have neutral charge. Okay, so mass number always equal to protons and neutrons. I have told you if we only see protons, they will show the only atomic number of that element. But if we count protons and neutrons both, then they will make the mass number of that element. So electrons have a mass so small it can be ignored. Okay, so we will not measure the electrons. The mass of an atom depends on how many protons and neutrons it has. So the most important thing in the structure of an atom is that protons and neutrons. Because when we count only protons, they tells us about the atomic number of that structure of an atom. Okay, and if we count both protons and neutrons, they will tell us about the mass number of the given structure. Okay, so now see the equation. Mass number is equal to number of protons plus number of neutrons. And what will be equation for atomic number? Atomic number is always equal to proton number. Right here on your book. Okay, atomic number is always equal to proton number, and mass number is always equal to number of protons plus number of neutrons. Protons have positively charge on them and neutrons have no charge. So now see in the side box, all carbon atoms have 6 protons in the nucleus. I have told you it's a nucleus of an carbon atom. In the center, there are 6 protons. Okay, if we make a figure, we can show in the circle 6 protons and they have positively charged. This carbon atom has 6 protons and 6 neutrons. It also has 6 neutrons here. Okay, so 6 protons show the atomic number and 6 protons and 6 neutrons show the 12 mass number of that element. So giving a mass number of 12. Now come to next page. The arrangement of electrons. The, arrange, the arrangement of electrons. बेटा इसको बंद करो, उसको चला लो. The arrangement of electrons. Okay, so now we can see how electrons are arranged. The arrangement of electrons. We have discussed that number of protons and neutrons are present in the center of nucleus, but how are they arranged? Okay, we will discuss it now, how they are arranged. Okay, now see here. Okay, you can see it is a structure of helium. Okay, so helium has in the center, it has 2 protons and 2 neutrons. So because it has 2 protons in the center, so around the circular path there should be 2 electrons. Number of electrons and number of protons are always equal. So it will show helium has 2 protons, so its atomic number will be 2 and its mass number will be 2 proton plus 2 neutron equal to be 4. Okay, now you see another structure which is given, it is magnesium. Okay, you can see in the center of the nucleus 12 protons and 12 neutrons. Okay, so we will see it is the center of a nucleus, and around the nucleus there are circular path. You can see here is a one path, there is another path 2, and there is another path which is called 3. Now the first question which will come into your mind, okay, how can we make circular path, how many circular paths we should be draw around it, and what is its reason? Okay, so I have told you, when we want to make the structure of an atom, okay, so these are called orbit and shell. These circular paths are called orbit or shell. So the first shell is called K shell, second is called M shell, third is called N shell, okay, fourth is called L shell, and fifth is called O shell. It means the structure of an atom further divided according to their energy level in 5 shells. We can divide it into 5 shells. First is called K shell, you can write on the figure. Second is called first is called K shell, second is called L shell, and the third one is called N shell. Okay, now after that scientists have a question in their mind, okay, how should we arrange these particles in this circular path? Okay, so they make a formula. Okay, they call them it's n. Okay, they tell the energy level is called n, so its formula is 2n square. 2n square. Okay, so this is the first shell, its energy level is 1, it's 2, and it's 3. So when you put this formula, okay, so you have to hold pencils in your hand and you have to write now 2n square for K shell. So you will write on your book, K shell is equal to 2n square. Write on your book, K shell is equal to 2n square. So 2 and n, so its energy, this is per share, you put right 1, so 1 square is equal to 1, 2 multiplied by 1, so answer is 2. It means that in K shell only 2 electrons can be accommodated. So what is the reason? In first shell around the nucleus, it is called K shell, and only 2 electrons can accommodate, not more than 2. We cannot accommodate in this part of the circular path. Okay, so write the formula, K is equal to 2n square. Write on your book, K is equal to 2n square. Have you written on your book? K is equal to 2n square, so 2, and in a bracket write here 1. Okay, so 1 square is equal to 1, 2 multiply by 1, answer is 2. Then come to next shell. Okay, so again we will repeat that formula. This is called L shell. L shell is equal to 2n square. L shell is equal to 2n square. So we will write in a box 2 multiply by n square. n we will write here 2. Okay, so 2 square is equal to 4. 4 multiplied by 2, answer should be 8. It means in second shell we can accommodate 8 electrons. Now we will see the figure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Is it clear? So in second shell of nucleus, this is first shell, only 2 electrons can accommodate, and in second shell of an atom there are 8 electrons can be accommodated. Not more than electrons we cannot accommodate in second shell. Okay, now come to third shell. Now we will repeat our formula again. In third shell, it is equal KLM. This is M shell. Okay, so M shell is equal to, you will write in your book, 2n square. Formula will be again repeated. M shell is equal to 2n square. So you will put 2 and n. You will put here 3 because this is third shell. 3 square. So what is the square of 3? It is equal to 9. So 9 multiplied by 2, 18. So it means in third shell, 18 electrons can be accommodated. So what is the reason? 18 electrons can be accommodated in third shell. Students, I think you don't have pencils and books with you. That's why you are just watching the screen and you can't understand this mathematical issue. Are you writing these formulas? You have to write this formula on your book and you have to put the values. Okay, so in third shell, I am repeating again, in third shell, it's called M shell. M shell is equal to 2n square. So you will write here 2 and in bracket, you will write here 3 square. Why do we write 3? Because this is a third shell. So 3 square means 3 threes are 9 multiplied by 2. It means it's equal to 18. So in third shell, 18 electrons can be accommodated. And if we draw fourth shell, okay, but you will see here in this third shell only 2 electrons are here. Okay, 1 2, there are no 18 electrons. So what is its reason? I will tell you later. First discuss the how many electrons can accommodate in first shell, in second shell and third shell. So right here in first shell only 2 electrons can accommodate. In second shell only 8 electrons can accommodate. We can put only 8 electrons in second shell, and in third shell we can accommodate only 18 electrons. Okay, and if we talk about fourth shell, that is called n shell. Okay, so n shell, we will again repeat the formula. N shell is equal to 2n square. Okay, so you will put 2 and in the substitution value of n we will write here 4 because we are talking about 4 shell. So 4 fours are 16 multiplied by 2, answer should be equal to 32. What will be your answer? Your answer will be 32. It means if we draw fourth shell around the nucleus, it can accommodate 32 electrons in its shell. Then if we draw fifth shell, if we need to draw fifth shell, okay, so fifth shell is called O shell. So in O shell we will write there O shell is equal to 2n square. So what do you put here? 2, and if n you will write here because we are talking about fifth shell, so we will put fifth 5. So 5 is a 25 multiplied by 2, it should be equal to 50. So I am repeating again. In first shell, 2 electrons can be accommodated. In third shell, 8 electrons can be accommodated. In a second shell, 8 electrons can be accommodated. In third shell, 18 electrons can be accommodated. In fourth shell, if we go fourth shell, 32 electrons can be accommodated. And if we talk about fifth shell, if we need to draw fifth shell, we can accommodate 50 electrons. So this is called the arrangement of electrons in an electronic structure. Now I will discuss, because we are talking about magnesium, I have told you it has 12 protons and 12 neutrons in the center of a nucleus. So when we put these electrons around the nucleus, we will focus the number of protons. So we have 12 number of protons. So we have discussed in first shell 2 electrons can accommodate. So out of 12 we put 2 electrons here. Okay, after that in second shell we have discussed 8 electrons can accommodate. So out of 12, 2 comes in first shell. So how much are left? 10 are left. So out of 10, 8 electrons will be come in second electronic shell. Then we will come to third shell because 2 electrons are still left. So we will put this electron, this circular path, this third shell can accommodate 18 electrons. But according to our given electronic structure, we have only 2 electrons. Okay, just 2 electrons are left. So the number of electrons which are left in electronics, we will put them into third circular path. So in first shell, there should be 2 electrons. In second shell, we put 8 electrons. So 8 plus 2 should be 10. And 2 are left and we put them into third circular path. I come to another figure which is given in your book. Okay, it's the figure of neon. Okay, neon is a noble gas. We will discuss in periodic table. Its atomic number is 10. Its atomic number is 10. So in the center of a nucleus, we can see it has 10 protons and 10 neutrons. 10 protons and 10 neutrons. So its atomic number should be 10 and its mass number I have told you when we add number of protons and number of neutrons. So these are 10 protons, 10 neutrons. So it would be equal to 20. Okay. So in neon, the atomic number is 10 and the mass number should be 20. So if we put them according to our calculation, so in first shell there should be 2 electrons. We put here 2 electrons. How many are left out of 10? 8 are left, and they will be accommodate in second shell. They are 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 are left. So 8 plus 2 should be equal to 10. I hope you understand it. Now we will discuss which is given in your book. Bohr and Rutherford worked out a theoretical model for the atom in which the electrons are arranged in layers around the nucleus. Each layer or shell, okay, they call that each layer or shell, and it is also called orbit. Okay, so each layer or shell can hold a certain number of electrons. The first shell can hold a maximum of 2 electrons. Yeah, underline in your book, maximum of 2 electrons. But how they accommodate, I have told you with the help of a formula. Okay, that is very important. Its formula is 2n square. Okay, the second shell can hold a maximum of 8 electrons. Yes, this is true. 8 electrons can be accommodated here. And the third shell can hold a maximum of 18 electrons. Yes, I have told you 8 electrons, and it fills up to 8. The electrons built up from the first shell, filling each one until and the electrons are in. This means all the electrons are also close to the nucleus, and they can be. The table shows how the electrons are arranged in first 10 elements. Now we will discuss the first 10 elements which are given in the periodic table, which we will discuss in next page. Okay, the first element of periodic table is hydrogen. Its symbol we can show by capital number H. Okay, atomic number is 1. It means it has only one proton. Okay, and its number of electrons, definitely the number of atomic number means proton number, and proton number always equal to electron number. So if there is one proton, so there should be only one electron. Okay, and in first shell, how many electrons will come? Only one will come. And in second shell, there is no electron. Okay, so this is the electronic structure of a hydrogen. Then we will come to helium. Helium is shown by first capital letter and second small letter. You can see helium, He. Atomic number is 2. It means it has 2 protons in the center of a nucleus. Okay, and definitely if it has 2 electrons, so its electrons should be same. And in first shell, how many electrons will be accommodated? 2. It has only 2, so they will be accommodated in 2. Then come to a third element of periodic table. It's lithium. Lithium is shown by L and I. First letter is capital and the other is small. So its atomic number is 3. atomic number means it has 3 protons in the center of a nucleus. So when we, and if it has 3 protons, so it has 3 electrons. So when we draw its structure, in first shell, 2 electrons will come. We have discussed above the figures that in first shell, only 2 electrons can be accommodated. Okay, so in first shell, there are 2 electrons, and in second shell, only 1 electron should become. So 2 and 1, it should be equal to 3. Then we come to next, beryllium. Okay, beryllium is a symbol of B and E. If you see the periodic table, its atomic number is 4. So atomic number means in the center of nucleus, it has 4 protons. And number of electrons should be same. If you see the table, you can see atomic numbers and electron numbers. They always are same. Okay. Then first shell, 2 electrons will come. Who will be left? They will go to second shell. Then we will discuss the boron. Boron is an element and it is shown by capital B. Its atomic number is 5, so its electron number should be 5. And when we draw the structure, in first shell, 2 electrons will come, and in second shell, 3 electrons will become. Okay, so come to carbon, and which we have discussed with the help of a diagram. Carbon, its chemical symbol is capital C, so its atomic number is 6. If its atomic number is 6, so its proton number and electron number is same. So in first shell, 2 electrons will come, and in second shell, 4 electrons will come. Okay. So now we will see the nitrogen. Nitrogen is another symbol, and we will see nitrogen is N. It is shown by 7. Okay, it is shown by 7. And electron number is 7. First shell there should be 2, and second shell there should be 5. Then come to oxygen. Oxygen symbol is capital O. Its atomic number is 8, and its electron number is also 8. So first shell, 2 electrons will become, and in second shell, 6 will become. Then come to fluorine. Okay, fluorine is shown by chemical symbol capital F. So its atomic number is 9, and its number of electron is 9. So in first shell, we can accommodate 2 electrons, and definitely 7 are left. They will go in second shell. Then we will discuss the neon. We also see the picture of neon above the figure. Neon, it is shown by capital N and small e, and its atomic number means it has number of protons 10, it has number of electrons 10, because they both are equal. And when we draw the structure, in first shell there should be 2 electrons, and in second shell 8 electrons will become. So this table is very important. You have to, and when I told you something important, you have to write on your book. And I am watching, you are not writing, you are just watching the screen. Now come to your did you know box. If you could fill 1 centimeter cubic with atomic nuclei, the total mass would be, you will write here, it is 2 trillion times kg equal to. You can see the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11. Okay, so trillion, 2 trillion times kg. So this is very important information. According to your objective, you have to underline it. I hope you understand today's lecture. So if you have any confusion, if you want to ask any question, you can raise your hand. Now your lecture has been ended. If you want to ask any question, you can raise your hand. Is there any question? Musaf, Kaleem, and Tahir, Tabeen, and girls, Ali Hassan. Is everything clear, Ju? Okay, tell me what is chemical formula which I have told you when you want to draw the structure of an atom. Yes, Tahir, you will tell me. What is the structure which I have told you during the lecture? जी ताहिर बताइए. How can we find that how many electrons can accommodate? Tahir, give me the answer.